styles and settings in diamond fashion are really hot this season.
And dazzling bezel-set diamond bands make a huge statement on every well-dressed woman.
Come see all the new spring styles in bridal and fashion jewelry today at Juniker Jewelry Company,
Mississippi's largest fine jeweler and your direct diamond importer.
Remember, you can't buy a better quality diamond at a lower price anywhere in Mississippi. That's the Juniker's money-back diamond guarantee.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and junikerjewelry.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome in to the Full Story with Matthew Bishop. I am, of course, not Matthew Bishop. I am Lindsey Beckham, but we are live here in the WYAB studios. Matt is out today, and so I'm taking his seat for the hour. Double time Lindsey Beckham shows today, so get excited. Hope everybody is having a fantastic Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can call in to the show today, 601-879-0002. We also have a text line, and that's 601-879-4648. Obviously, some very tragic news over the weekend. I could not start the show without saying how sorry I am to Mr. Buddy's family. If you have been a listener of WIB for any given amount of time, then you have more than likely heard Mr. Buddy call in to Clay's show or my show, always with great words of wisdom, always telling us to give him hell. And I sent Clay a clip this morning because it just makes me smile. I had clipped it out of his show when Mr. Buddy called in shortly after he was Santa over at the governor's mansion last Christmas, and I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Buddy in person as Santa, of course, and he was just as delightful in person as he is when he calls into the shows. But Clay and I always say I feel like he's probably the closest thing to a brother I'll ever have. We love each other, but we fuss and feud and fight at times. But I found it so comical because Mr. Buddy happened to call in and tell Clay that he got to meet me and that I was just a joy. And it was during a time where Clay and I were fighting about something, and I could just see the pain come across Clay's face as Mr. Buddy said that. But I got a kick out of it, and I have kept that little recording of him calling in and saying how he enjoyed getting to meet me. But Mr. Buddy, the pleasure was all mine, and you will be so very missed. There's not going to be nearly as much joy in the Christmas season here in the central Mississippi area without you as Santa Claus. I don't think anyone has done it as well as you, and you will be so very missed, and you are very loved. And we are praying for the family as they make those arrangements to say goodbye to Mr. Buddy. I absolutely hated to see that news come across my feed Saturday evening. Just what a great man, and what a loss, not only to the entire central Mississippi area, but to, of course, our WIAB family. He was a special one. He was definitely a very special man. So our condolences to the family on that extraordinary loss. It's going to be felt for quite some time in this area. Hate to start this show off in such on a somber note, but boy, did we love Mr. Buddy here at WYAB so very much, and he will be extremely, extremely missed here. I wanted to tell you about a couple of events coming up. Of course, this evening over at the Mermaid, starting at 5:30, there will be a celebration, America's 250 celebration that's being put together by the Madison County Republican Executive Committee, the Madison County Republican Women, and then the Madison County GOP Club, all in conjunction together, putting on this event to celebrate the 250th year of our incredible country. There's no other like it, the best there ever has been, the United States of America. I'm just so fortunate and so blessed to be born in this great country where we have rights and freedoms, and I can get on this radio station and sit behind this microphone and tell you my opinions and talk to you about Jesus and share with you my political views without having to worry that someone may come and take my life for the words that I'm speaking. How blessed we are that we get to live in a country where we are allowed to go to a ballot box and cast our vote, to use our voices in deciding who we send to DC, who we send to the state capitol, who sits on our board of supervisors and our school boards, making these decisions that affect our daily lives. How fortunate and blessed we are to have that right here in this incredible country. And so we want to celebrate, of course, the 250th birthday of this amazing country. So y'all come out, join us this evening. That is at the Mermaid in Madison County, and we will be celebrating all things America. It looks great over there. I met with some of the other women yesterday evening, and we started to decorate. We'll be back there this afternoon before the event, but the event is at 5:30. If you would like more information on how to get a ticket or just find out exactly where you need to go, I would be happy to help you with that. My email address is Lindsey, that's Lindsey with an E, at WYAB.com. Tomorrow we will have former state representative and now official candidate for state auditor in our election cycle next year, Nick Bain. He will be on the show with us tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, there will be a fundraiser, an event being held for Nick. He will also have former Governor Phil Bryant with him at Kessler Prime tomorrow evening. If you would like more information about that, I would love to share that with you as well. Nick was the chairman of the Judiciary B Committee when he had his seat over in the legislature at the Capitol. And so I got to know him well as they took up a lot of the legislation in that committee that I was working on. And he fought for some of the bills that I wanted to see passed in our state. He fought for some of that legislation, and he stood in that well and fought hard. And so I am very appreciative for all that he did during his time in the Mississippi legislature. So y'all get out tomorrow night, support Nick as he runs again for statewide office, our state auditor in the upcoming election cycle. Thursday evening at 6:30 over the Gulf Coast area at the Sunkissed Country Club. I will be there as well. I will be there with several others as we are participating in another school choice debate panel. There will be Gerard Gibbert, Leah Ferretti, Starla Brown, myself, and then 4 others who are opposing of education freedom legislation passing here in the state of Mississippi. So that should be a fun event as well. And as always, if you have any questions or want any more information about any of these events, just let me know. Also, mark your calendars, the 28th of this month over at Beethoven's Boardwalk. I'm probably saying that wrong. Chip's Place. There will be a WIAB event where all of the hosts here on WIAB will be there. We'd love to meet you. Come out and see us. Shake our hands. We can put a face to some of the callers and the names and the emails that we receive here at the station. And again, thank you so much. I received several emails over the weekend from people who tuned in Friday to the show and were in agreement that, we really do see the world, our schools pushing this agenda, lying to children, telling them they can be something that they most definitely cannot, whether it be telling a girl they could be a boy they can be a girl, or children of any sex that they can be an animal. We've become far too accepting of this nonsense. And you know what? That mess all stops when we put our foot down and say no more. We're not going to live in this land of idiocracy any longer. We are not going to go along to get along. We are not going to worry if it hurts your feelings when we call it out. Because that's what we are going to continue to do here at WIAB, is call out this nonsense. Call it out for what it is. It's demonic. It is 1,000,000% demonic. The devil is after our children, and you better fight like hell. Like Mr. Buddy says, give them hell if you want to make sure that your children are walking the right path, the straight and narrow, the path to what God's will for their life will be. That cannot happen when they're being lied to and deceived and affirmed as something they are not. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. And I think it is an abomination when we see this acceptance culture out there who doesn't want to offend anyone, who's afraid of a lawsuit, I don't know, maybe by the Southern Poverty Law Center, some extreme group like that. They like to call out people for being extreme. I don't know a group nearly as extreme. In fact, I want to get into some of that today. Not only has the Southern Poverty Law Center put a target on so many conservatives' backs by labeling them an anti-government extremist hate group, militia group. Do you know what else they have been doing? Is creating curriculum for our children. Not only are they infiltrating groups, true hate groups, such as the KKK, in order to stir up more division, more hate, more divide, but they are also incorporating that into curriculum that is being used in, get this, 47 states across the country. But Lindsey, that doesn't happen here. We live in the Bible Belt. We're super conservative. We're majority Republican. This is Mississippi. That wouldn't happen here. Well, my friends, I beg to differ. Because yes, Mississippi is one of the 47 states where this curriculum produced by the Southern Poverty Law Center has made its way into Mississippi schools, teaching our children to hate each other. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We're going to get into that, talk more about that. We're going to take a break, but y'all stay with us because there's so much more to break down here today. I am Lindsey Beckham. I'm filling in for Matthew Bishop on The Full Story. And stay tuned because we will be right back here on 103.9 WYAB. on 103.9 WYAB.
WYAB.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Benny Tate, president of the Congregational Methodist Church denomination in Florence, Mississippi, and the pastor of Rock Springs Church in Milner, Georgia, inviting you to attend one of our services this week. Find a church near you at cm-church.org and be sure and listen for our weekly program, Apples of Gold from Rock Springs Church, here on 103.9 WYAB.
Listen to Apples of Gold every Sunday morning at 10.
Now is the time to turn over a new leaf and shower yourself with savings at Mazda of Jackson. Mazda of Jackson has rates as low as 0.9% on select models, or spring into savings with up to $3,000 in customer cash with approved credit. Get to Mazda of Jackson today, where certified pre-owned vehicles and hassle-free trade-in options are also available. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
The best investment on earth is earth. This is real estate agent Shane Saxton. As I like to say, the government can print more money, but they can't print more land. In the past 2 years, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Call me today to get your land and home sold, because Saxton Sales isn't just a slogan. It's backed up by hundreds of satisfied clients just like you.
Find one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxton, on Facebook, or call Shane at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
Attention citizens. The call is going out across all of 103.9 WYAB. Each Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., General Bob's Swap Shop summons all able-bodied listeners to buy, sell, and trade. Sign up by calling the phone line and joining the campaign where your stuff becomes the hero of the hour. No shillings, no coins, no enlistment fees of any kind to peddle your personal items. Report for duty each Tuesday at 9 a.m. right here on 103.9 WYAB. General Bob needs you and your stuff.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to ring partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Ream and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Welcome back in to the full story with Matthew Bishop. I am obviously not Matthew Bishop. I am Lindsey Beckham. I'm here filling in for him today as he is out. You get a double dose of the Lindsey Beckham Show today. Some of you may be excited about that. Some of you may not, and that's okay too. Feel free to call in. We'd love to hear from you with your thoughts, concerns, opinions, questions, whatever those may be. 601-879-0002 is the call-in number to the station. You can also text our text line. That's 601-879-4648. I'm sorry, 601-769-4648. Say that so many times that you get into auto mode saying it, and then all of a sudden your brain doesn't cooperate with your mouth and the wrong numbers come out. It is Monday and it is earlier than normal for me, so just hang in there with me. We'll get it together eventually. But we were discussing the Southern Poverty Law Center. Not only have they created a lot of hate for certain organizations and groups, I guess you would call those groups the most conservative groups out there. The American Family Association, Moms for Liberty, groups that I guess would be considered what some people say far right. I don't necessarily see how just wanting age appropriate materials inside of our schools makes you far right, but I guess for some people, that's what they consider that to be. It's funny, ever since these indictments were handed down concerning the Southern Poverty Law Center, I've heard from so many of our members across the country just how extreme it got for them, some losing their jobs, some having their tires slashed, some receiving hate mail, exploding candy in the shape and form of male genitalia. Some have even received postcards and letters from Satan, the devil himself, or at least that's how they were signed. Downright disgusting. During our annual summit a few years ago in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they had to rope off the block around the hotel because the protesters were out in droves. They were being bussed in. Graffiti, screaming, yelling, throwing eggs at us. We couldn't leave the hotel because we were in fear of our safety. Some of them did manage to make their way in. They left door hangers on our doors calling us Hitler and fascist and Nazis and extremists. However, whatever derogatory word you can think of, that's what they called us. They even went so far as to vandalize one of the museums in Philadelphia that holds so much of our country's history because they were holding a welcome reception for us. The stories I've heard are extremely upsetting that an organization like this was able to stir up so much hate, and yet we were the ones being called the hate group. This Wednesday, and I cannot wait, I promise you, I'm going to be glued to this hearing, but the House Judiciary Committee has called for a hearing, and this is the title, the Southern Poverty Law Center Manufacturing Hate. That will take place this Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, in Washington, D.C., this hearing is going to aim to examine SPLC's operations and its influence on federal civil rights policy. This committee has scheduled the hearing after these federal indictments of wire bank fraud charges, allegations that the SPLC used donor money to secretly pay informants inside extremist groups such as the KKK without disclosing this, again, in order to stir up more hate, more divide, more division. Now, of course, The Southern Poverty Law Center and civil rights advocates have strongly denied these allegations. They say that this prosecution is politically motivated. Now, I think that's what they've been doing all this time. They have reached out to us as an organization and asked for our members to write letters for them to review, detailing the events that have taken place within our organization that we believe have happened because we've been targeted, called a hate group by the actual hate group. But it goes further than that. The SPLC has developed anti-racism curriculum. This curriculum is found in classrooms across our country, starting as early as kindergarten. That's right, 5-year-olds. We are teaching 5-year-olds who don't even know what racism is how to become an anti-racist. It's mind-boggling. It's absolutely disgusting, and shame on any Department of Education that is allowing this nonsense into our schools, teaching our children at such an early age how to hate. Education Watchdog has warned that this group continues to integrate its far-left content and materials into classrooms as early as kindergarten in more than 40 states across the United States of America. Now, the president over at Defending Education, which, by the way, also won the prize and made the hate map as an extremist group, labeled so by the Southern Poverty Law Center. She has told Fox News that the Southern Poverty Law Center has been poisoning pupils' minds around the country for years with its toxic curriculum. They just published a new expose last week detailing how their education program called Learning for Justice, which was formerly Teaching Tolerance, has been integrated into K through 12 lesson plans and materials in 169 school districts in 42 states plus Washington, D.C. Now, according to Watchdog, the program reinforces far-left cultural and political ideologies, including anti-racism, Black Lives Matter, gender ideology, and queer theory. Also, white privilege, white supremacy, whiteness, and transgenderism. You can't go against any of these things because that makes you the bad guy. Can't call any of this out because that makes you the transphobe, the homophobe, the racist. I would love to know how we became a society that's okay with this nonsense infiltrating our children's minds, especially at such a young, tender, vulnerable age. They are attempting to shape our children in a way that fits in with their plan of breeding more hate, more division, more divide. These programs have supplemented traditional coursework in history classes, social study classes, and other core classes. We are teaching children to view themselves and others through the lens of identity politics, and that America should be hated. America is forever stained by its original sin, they say. Now, according to Defending Education, these materials intentionally sow division and mistrust between students at a formative age of their development, adding that it is deeply disappointing that administrators and educators believe this is an appropriate use of classroom time and resources. Our tax dollars that fund education are funding this type of curriculum where we are teaching this nonsense, this garbage to our children. We are teaching them that if you are born a certain color, that automatically makes you evil, that automatically makes you an oppressor. And you should apologize for that for the rest of your life, even though it's something that you had nothing to do with. We can't help what color we are when we're born. This curriculum teaches another group of people that if you're born a certain color, that you are automatically oppressed and that you have been oppressed and that you are a victim and that you should hate the oppressors who did this to you. Continually breeding the divide, the hate, and the division. That is what is happening through this curriculum developed by the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's time for school boards to stand up. It's time for parents to get involved. And it is time to tell groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center that they can take their curriculum and shove it up their ass, because we as parents will not stand for this crap to infiltrate the minds of our children any longer. We are done with it. And when enough of us stand up and say that and follow through with our actions, that's when this ends. That's when this nonsense idiocracy will come to an end. We ran over. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us because there's lots more to talk about here. If you can't tell, it gets me a little fired up. Government forces us to send our children to school or you'll be fined. That truancy officer is going to show up at your door and put you in jail. Yet so many of our schools across this country are using this garbage to get into the minds of our very young, innocent children. Disgusting. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back. Lots more to break down here. 103.9 WYAB. This is the full story with Matt Bishop. But you got me, Lindsey Beckham, today. We'll be right back. Me, Lindsey Beckham, today. We'll be right back.
.9 WYAB.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Want insider tips on foundation repair, maintenance, and how to protect your biggest investment? Todd Sandridge, owner of Superior Foundation Services, will be dropping in this month for quick interviews with your favorite local hosts. Whether you're dealing with cracks, settling, or just want peace of mind, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Superior Foundation Services, helping you stay on solid ground. Find them online at superior.ms. That's superior.ms.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A ruling in New York in the trial of Luigi Mangione, the accused killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. A gun and a notebook, prosecutors say, link him to the murder, can be used as evidence. However, says ABC's Peter Haralambous, other items will not be admitted.
The judge is limiting some information, the actual items they took from his bag at the McDonald's, specifically the gun magazine, his cell phone, passport, wallet, and a computer chip. All of those are now off the table, according to this judge. So a little bit of a win for Mangione there. But overall, this is a pretty good ruling for prosecutors here.
President Trump has moved to withdraw his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS over the leak of his tax returns. In exchange, ABC News has learned for $1.7 billion fund to pay Trump allies who believe they were wrongly investigated during the Biden administration. The cruise ship at the center of the hantavirus outbreak is now docked at the Dutch port of Rotterdam for disinfection. This is ABC News.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply has established a business relationship with our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, be ready. Call Calvin Electric. They can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Calvin Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Calvin Electric today or visit calvinelectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. calvinelectric.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands, and backed with the LS commitments for customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
At Center for Orthodontics, we believe in family, tradition, and community. From kids to adults, Center offers state-of-the-art orthodontic care with complimentary consultations, so everyone in the family can smile with confidence. Center for Orthodontics proudly supports Tri-County Academy and the Building on Tradition campaign, so a short drive to local businesses like Sandifer helps TCA thrive. Begin the journey to a beautiful smile at SandiferOrtho.com. Center for Orthodontics, Highland Village, Jackson, and Gateway Drive in Brandon.
Welcome back into the full story with Matthew Bishop. I am, of course, not Matthew Bishop, but I am Lindsey Beckham. I host the Lindsey Beckham Show from 12 to 1 here on WYAB. Filling in for Matt Bishop today. We are live here in the WYAB studios on this Monday morning in the heart of Flora, Mississippi. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. As always, we've got some haters in the comments. That is okay. That is A-okay. Look, at this point, I just find it comical, some of the things that these people say, because it's so outrageous. We did get a comment here from Mel Gillingham, Border 62. I completely agree with her. Schools need to stick to the basics, not the crap they have been. The nation's statistics on high school graduates on those basic curriculum subjects is abysmal. You could not be more correct. And steady declining. Reading scores across the country are steadily declining. This started pre-COVID. Children are graduating who cannot read. Schools should most definitely be focusing on reading, writing, arithmetic, common sense, not how to be an anti-racist, not how to hate yourself because you were born white, not to hate your neighbor because they're a different color. But that is exactly what this curriculum produced and manufactured by the Southern Poverty Law Center themselves was intended to do. Now, of course, the Southern Poverty Law Center did not respond to requests for comment on this report by Defending Education. So I think we have a call coming in. Hey there, you're on the air.
Hey, so you do understand that the Southern Poverty Law Center, they make money by promoting racism, right?
Oh, absolutely. They absolutely do. And then they want to come in and say that they are putting these groups that promote racism on this hate map. So they're creating the problem and then saying they're there to solve it.
Well, that's how they get funded.
It's disgusting.
That's how they fund themselves, is by they go out and find any narrative they can and promote the crap out of it and on up racism. That's why they shut the builder guy. That's why they're going to try to nail him to the cross to, get up some more money.
Exactly. And they are also funded by a lot of Hollywood and these elitists who are just pouring millions upon millions of dollars into groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center. And of course, when you want to infiltrate.
No. We're not talking about APAC. We're talking about FPLP.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean now. Exactly.
I cannot listen to, I don't mean this bad, female hosts. I just don't know why. But you, I find very, very entertaining, and I enjoy it a lot. And I just want to encourage you to keep going.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I appreciate that.
And have a good show.
Thanks for calling. Yes, and he's so right. They are creating racism throughout our entire country. And when you start with children, when you get into the minds of our children at such a young age, you then have someone who is going to believe these things for life. That's one of the quotes that we know was made by Hitler. You got to grab them when they're young, because then you have a soldier for life. And I'm paraphrasing here, but that's exactly what this intent is. That is exactly why the Southern Poverty Law Center got into the curriculum game. That is exactly why they want to manufacture what is going to be taught or implemented in our schools across our country. Our young children being brainwashed by this nonsense at such a very young age. Now, some of these documents can be found on school district web pages. In a lot of these teacher professional development trainings, classroom lessons, district-wide curriculum, social emotional learning. Now, that's a catchphrase there. I've been saying this for a long time, but when you fight back against something, a lot of times what will happen is they just change the name of it. They keep doing exactly what they were doing, but they changed the name of it. So critical race theory became this buzzword, this term. A lot of states began to fight back against critical race theory, banning it. State legislatures banning it in schools across the country. And so you think it's gone, when in all actuality, it's still right there. It's just now social emotional learning instead of critical race theory. It's now being called social justice standards instead of critical race theory. It's now being called equity policies instead of critical race theory. And they're so tricky, and you have to be so careful because you're not going to get a syllabus on your child's first day of school that says, hey, critical race theory, social justice. You're not going to see them bring home textbooks by those names. No, instead, what happens is they use activities and assignments where they implement this way of thinking into the minds of our children. Some of this curriculum even includes action categories where students are encouraged to join with diverse people to plan and carry out collective action against exclusion, prejudice, and discrimination. Defending Education said that New York, their Department of Education, added equity revisions to its social emotional learning benchmark, aligned with the same exact benchmarks in the Southern Poverty Law Center's social justice standards. It gets crazier and crazier. Learning for Justice materials are also incorporated into curriculum and lesson plans for younger students in several districts. Pre-kindergarten even. Shad White discovered in Oxford, right here in Mississippi, social justice equity yoga being taught to preschoolers. Preschoolers. That's what your tax dollars are funding. You cannot make this stuff up. Families value bias-free learning environments, but that is not what they are getting when this curriculum is being used. You know, it reminds me a while back, the documentary Matt Walsh did, Am I Racist? And there's this group of women at this table, white women, who've decided they hate themselves for being white. It is the craziest bunch of comments I have ever seen come out of a group of women sitting there crying and hating themselves because they are white for something they had no control over, something they weren't even alive for. We got to bring common sense back to this country, and it cannot happen soon enough. We got to take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up here on this Monday morning on The Full Story with Lindsey Beckham today. Stay tuned. With Lindsey Beckham today. Stay tuned.
.1039 WYAB. When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, and I want to tell you, I've lived in Florida for over 50 years. I'm a graduate of Tri-County Academy, went there the first day the doors opened. If you're thinking about putting your children into Tri-County Academy and need a place to live, then give me a call. Without a doubt, the Florida expert when it comes to real estate. So if you need a place to live, give me a call. Rita Jensen, Remax Connection. 601-720-4037 or go to my website, ritajensen.net.
All Britain's Jewelers. When love requires a gift, nothing says it better than All Britons. Since 1920, we've been part of your family. From weddings and anniversaries to holidays, we've been there for every special occasion. At All Britons, we value your trust. Every gift, whether large or small, is a reflection of our commitment to quality and excellence. There's a reason we're still Mississippi's foremost diamond merchant. Let us show you why. All Britons Jewelry, 4460 Old Canton Road in Jackson. All Britain's Jewelers.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
Come on down to Ascension. Come on in. Sunday worship 10 a.m. Amen. Jackson, Mississippi will sing with you. Pastor Christine sharing good news. Come on down to Ascension. Join the choir. Feel God's love lifting you higher. Ascension Lutheran Church, for saving you of you.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Welcome back into the last minute or so of the full story with Matthew Bishop. Of course, Matt is out today. Thanks to him for allowing me to fill in on his show that takes place 9 a.m. on Mondays. I think he's also here at some point on Saturdays as well. And hopefully he will be back in the studio soon. I will be back again at 12, my regularly scheduled show from 12 to 1 right here on WIAB. Again, get double doses of the Lindsey Beckham show today. I don't know if that makes you happy or mad, but that's what you get today. Get what you get and don't throw a fit. That's what I tell my kids anyway. I'm sure the moms out there have used that line several times. They're probably quite familiar with it. But I will be back here at 12. Hope to see you all then. And hope to see you this evening at the Mermaid for the big America 250 celebration put on by Madison County Republicans. Have a great day. Bye.